is Lightship hovering over Flemington, now a part of the Melbourne Cup Carnival, which has provided some magnificent pictures over the 7 days of the carnival. And there is the view with the Maribyrnong River on the right-hand side. Our thanks to Whitman's for all those special camera angles from the Lightship, from the tracking cameras in the barrier. Roy, it really has brought racing closer to the people. Unbelievable, really, what people are getting to see on race day now. Yeah. They can see the jockeys changing their minds. I find this a very difficult race for the mares. I went with the 6 Admiring Glances, got the blinkers on here today, did look well. I marked her on top of the 7 Batocci, she looks excellent. 3 Mine Gold, she's ready to start doing something, and 10 Lancerette. 6, 7, 3 and 10, but a very open race. Thanks to Roy Higgins with his thoughts on race 4. A late update from the betting ring. Tim Gossage.
Late money for the 7 Batocci, clear-cut favourite, Peter.
Batocci, the one they've backed. Here's Gary Willits in the commentary box with Dan Malicki.
Well, I reckon this is the most open race of the whole carnival. You get good money about horses like Romley Lass. It's won the other day and it's starting 20 to 1. What do you think, Dan?
Very open affair. Some nice staying mares on the way up. Batocci certainly one of them from what we've seen of her so far.
And El Mazoon, like it's, you know, I thought a top pick and it's 13 to 1. Dolvik, 17, it's incredible.
And coming up to the gates now is Elma Zayoun out wide. The Gold City won this race last year, and she proved that form worthwhile with a placing in the Australian Cup.
And she win the Sandown Cup the next week?
I think Royal Snack knocked her off.
Oh, right.
They're all set to go. The mares are ready. And away they go now. Caught them way to a pretty good line too. And one of the first out, Mine Gold's going to race handy early. Dolvik going up on its outside. Admiring Glances, Sahara Breeze, and from wide out is Elma Zayoun coming across. Robley Bay's at about 6th position on the inside early. Decidity up with that leading pack early. Batocci getting one off the fence. Lancerette wider with the grey space region going forward. Now back about midfield we had Sarah Decker. Kachina's wide out. And then Chicago Baby from Star Cossack. 2 lengths to Burning Embers and Pray for Rain. Elma Zayoun hit to the lead at the 1400. She settles down about a length clear. She did come from the outside barrier, so she's had to work across the face of the field. Admiring Glances is going to go up on her outside now and join her. A length and a quarter back, Dolbeat third, but one off the fence. On its inside, Mine Gold. A length away then to Decidity. Robley Lass was 6th on the rail. Sahara Breeze is on the outside. Batocci one off the fence, and back on its inside, Sarah Decker. They were followed by Space Regent. Kachina's 3, maybe even 4 wide there. Then Chicago Baby one off the rails. On its inside, Burning Embers. They were followed by Star Cossack second last now, and Pray for Rain was back at the tail of the field, about 8 lengths off the lead. Lancerette goes 3 deep. It's about 4th last. Elma Zayoun at the 800 leads, about a half a length to Admiring Glances. Dolbeat's 3rd. 4th the inside, Mine Gold's had a good run. Decidity 3 out around Robbie Lass and Sarah Decker. 4 wide, Sahara Breeze, and Kachina's pulled out 5 wide. Lancerette's also going to be deep as they turn for home, and in behind those horses was Kachina, then Star Cossack, Chicago Baby, Burning Embers. Back up the tail, Pray for Rain. Elma Zayoun at the 400, the leader. By a length to Burning Embers. Mine Gold gets out. It's had the pretty run. And then Dolbeat, Burning Embers tracking through on the rails. Further out on the track was Batocci running on well. Mine Gold goes up to Elma Zayoun at the 200. Here's Batocci, Burning Embers getting through nearer the rail. It's Batocci and Burning Embers sweeping to the lead, and then Star Cossack, Burning Embers and Batocci. Batocci the outside and Burning Embers. Batocci with its head in front, and it's got up to win here. Batocci from Burning Embers, Star Cossack 3rd, then Mine Gold every chance. Next time in the race would have been Sarah Decker, which made up some ground. Robbie Lass went on pretty well. Mine Gold faded in the last 100 metres, and then Chicago Baby. They were followed home by Elma Zayoun, who got tired, Sahara Breeze, Pray for Rain, and then came Decidity, Lancerette, Space Regent, Dolbeat and Kachina.
Well, Batocci, it's Darren Bevan again, and he's got this horse up right in the shadows of the post again. Well judged run.
Number 7 will be the winner, Batocci, Darren Beedman. It was a good effort, wasn't it? It was a pretty ride, one off the fence about 7th, and the 2 Hayes horses sweeping towards the lead at about the 200-metre mark to find out. A tremendous finish, 2 of the best in the business, Darren Beedman and Shane Dye.
Yes, they got home very well here.
And 5 is 3rd Star Cossack, so 7, 8 and 5 will be the placings.
That's right. Well, the one from the inside rail is Burning Embers, and then one right on the outside here is Batocci. And you can see the 2 of them, they start to fight it out. There's nothing between them here. And they're both these boys riding for dear life to get the bobbin on the line. But Batocci was just too strong in the finish.
Okay, well, it could be the start of good things to come. It's a double for Peter Hayes so far, and also training the Quinella in that race, Pete.
Yes, Quinella in that. 2 out of 4 so far. It's not a bad day, the final day of the carnival, and it has been for the Hayes family for quite a few years, Pete.
Yes, it's been a lucky day for us. I hope it continues. You know, these two mares have been crying out for a mile and a quarter at Flemington. They both ran very well at Moonee Valley. Petocchi particularly just didn't handle the track, and she's been just looking for this for such a long time. She's been so unlucky in a couple of races leading through, so she deserved this win. And the other mare had a very nasty fall in the Australian Oaks, and it's taken a long time to recover and get her confidence, you know, and Moonee Valley was the first sign of that, and she's come and produced a very good run again today.
I suppose you'd be pretty pleased to be associated with Darren on what's a pretty special day for him, his last Melbourne Cup Carnival, for the time being anyway.
Ah, yes, I like Darren very much. He's a great man, and you know, it's a big thrill to be involved with him on this day.
Congratulations, Pete. Maybe more to come later.
Thank you. Thank you.
Peter Hayes, who'll saddle up one of the favourites in the Chrysler Stakes a bit later on, Pengaloo. There is Darren Beadman out with Johnny Letts, and let's go out and chat to the champion hoop now.
Yes, Darren, that's the last 2 you've won, and gee, it's going to be hard to pack up the saddle and the gear and leave this race course, isn't it, for the last time?
I guess so, mate, but, you know, always save the best till last.
Yes, well, you know, you've been so popular with people, and just what a compliment Peter Hayes paid you then. I could hear it through the phones here, and he said it was just great to be involved with you,
Yeah.
you know, and everybody on the racecourse feels that way. But Petocchi, getting back to her, a nice run all the way?
Beautiful run. I was about 8th, went off the fence, travelling smooth, and the Peter Hayes polish come through the last furlong.
And you beat the stablemate.
Yeah, I seen Billy on the inside. I wasn't going to let him pass.
Good luck, Darren.
Thanks, mate.
There's the winning rider, Darren Beadman, after having brought up a double here in the Troa Arrowfield Matriarch Stakes aboard Petocchi. We'll go with that pronunciation because that was the way that Peter Hayes pronounced the name of this mare. And Petocchi is going to be given a great reception, especially because of the bloke sitting on her back, Darren Beadman. As we're saying, it may very well be his last Melbourne Cup Carnival. Let's hope he does reconsider one day. He's very passionate about his calling and what path his life is going to take after Boxing Day, which will be the last day we see him in the saddle. Hopefully not for good. He's too good a rider to lose to our ranks. Petocchi coming back the winner. Burning Embers, number 8 in second placing. 5 Star Cossack was third. Time for the journey, 2:1.7 on this delightful day here at Flemington. Darren Beadman brings the winner of race 4 back into the mounting yard, and that's our cue to take a break, and we'll be back with the correct weight signal and the dividends on the 4th event. We're back with you at Flemington after the 4th, where the numbers were 7, 8 and 5. The winner Petocchi defeating Burning Embers, Quinella to trainer Peter Hayes, and Star Cossack for David Hall getting into 3rd placing. Correct weight signal about to be declared.
Correct weight.
And weight is right. Correct weight for Whitmans after race 4. So Dan Malicki can tell you what you've won.
Peter, the winner, did run favourite. $5 for the win and $2 the place for number 7, 8 at $4.40, and 5 Star Cossack $5.10. Quinella $32.30, trifecta $874.50, and the running double $134.30. Petocchi, Burning Ember, Star Cossack $785 on race number 4.
And that was Jenny Chapman's selection in the 4th. Shortly we'll preview the 5th with Jen, but now they're ready for the presentation. Here's Rob Gaylard.
Thank you. Troa's Arrowfield Matriarch Stakes. The presentation, Mr. Keith Southwick representing the VRC here. But Mr. Nick Collum, actually the president of Thoroughbred Racehorse Owners Association, to make the presentation. Also joining him here today, Mr. Ross Smythe Kirk, the director of the Arrowfield Group Proprietary Limited. Nick.
Thank you, Rob, Mr. Chairman, committee. It's with great pride that we stand here again at Melbourne Cup Carnival on behalf of all of the members of Troa. We're pleased to have been here on behalf of the Arrowfield Stud, which is Australia's premier breeding establishment, without any doubt. And as Rob said, Mr. Ross Smythe Kirk is here representing them today. We're extremely delighted to present this trophy to Petocchi. Petocchi is owned, in fact, by Peter and Philip Vella from New Zealand, who are the owners of Wrightsons, who are the sales agents in that country. And in fact, many of us have bought horses from them, but obviously they targeted this series, the Queen of the Spring series, in order to be able to win the Dan Zero service, which they've done. And they've recognised also that Arrowfield-bred horses are the best in this part of the world. So, on behalf of Darren Beedman, who rode a sensational race, Shane Dye snuck up on the fence, but Darren was too good for him. And on behalf of Arrowfield and Trow, I'd like to present to Mr. Peter Hayes, the winning trainer, the trophy for today.
Thank you to Nick Collum, the president of the Thoroughbred Racehorse Owners Association. And the winner there, Batocci, and you can see her striding away. Quite impressive at the end, Jen.
Yes, I thought it was a good performance there, and well supported too in the race.
Burning Embers getting through along the inside in the red with the yellow seams, and third placing going to Star Cossack. And, well, as far as Decidity was concerned, well, she raced up handy but just didn't go on. And I noticed Kachina never saw a lot of the rail in that.
None at all. In fact, 4 or 5 wide most of the way, might around the turn. No chance there.
What about the 5th, the Village Roadshow Welter? Jen, can Darren Beedman make it 3 in a row? He's on the top one here, Toil.
Well, Toil's got a chance in it, but Pete, my top selection here is Del Rancho. Del Rancho got quite fired up at Caulfield last start and pulled a bit, and only beaten half a length there by Flak Jacket. I thought that was a good performance. If able to settle in this race, should run better. Number 1, Toil, he's very honest. He's got 60 kilos, but he's a horse that can carry weight, so I put him in for second. And number 4, Starbinder, put in a very good run at Geelong last start.
Short enough, Del Rancho, around about the $3 mark, but for those reasons that Jennifer has just expounded, I think Del Rancho can win in race 5 at 2:05 to get a wrap-up of the 4th and a preview of the 5th. Here's Tim Gossage in the betting ring.
Peter, not a great race for the bookmakers. The last, Batocci, a lot of late money for that. And also Burning Embers. I threw that one out also at each way odds. In the next, though, they haven't really put up their markets yet, but Del Rancho is expected to open up favourite. And I was at Werribee, the Werribee Cup meeting, and Indy Raj ran behind Sunny Lane, ran about 4th. Ran a very nice race, and at the moment it's at good each way odds, about $20 on the tote.
So Tim Gossage with that report down in the betting ring. Race number 5 on the card is the one before the big one, the Chrysler Stakes. That's due at 2:45. But Sandra, the Village Roadshow Welter is coming up at 5 minutes after 2. We'll see you shortly before then.
All right, we look forward to it, Peter, and we are having an absolute ball here in the 10 Marquee. As you can imagine, the kids are having a great time. We're trying to keep them under control, but we're having some sort of luck. Melbourne Cup Carnival draws hundreds of thousands of visitors, both around Australia and from overseas, to this wonderful city in Melbourne. And of course, when they do make their way to Melbourne, our crew, of course, stay once again at the Hotel Sofitel. The good people there really have looked after our every need. It is in the heart of the city. It's quiet, comfortable and spacious, and it has the finest food in the award-winning restaurants like Cafe La and Le Restaurant. For the week that many of us are spending here in Melbourne, the Hotel Sofitel really is our home away from home. Well, it isn't far away to the big race, the Chrysler Stakes, and I'll check out the countdown clock now. It should only be, well, I can't see it. Goodness me. We'll have to, just under an hour. There we go. Not too far away. You can witness the fabulous fashions that have been on show all this week in Melbourne. I think Tim Webster's waiting for me as well. Should we talk to Tim at the moment? No, we'll go to a break. We'll be back with more from Flemington.
A $200.
One of the many bands that pepper the course here at Flemington and create a tremendous atmosphere. Well, to conclude our look at young designers, the rising stars of Australia's fashion scene, our final designer today is Katie Graham. Now, Katie's background in costume design certainly has given her a rather creative edge.
I started in the fashion industry about 3.5 years ago, and I was originally trained in costume design, and I started making clothes for myself, and a lot of people used to ask me where I got my clothes from, so I'd make them for them, and it just sort of started from there. I could roll off a number of designers that I'm influenced by, but I think it really comes from inside yourself. You know, you've got to follow your instincts. This last season is definitely, I think I've outgrown my, previous years, and I've gone for a more sophisticated style about it. The Stakes Day outfit is based on a design from my spring and summer range, but I found this wild fabric, and originally I didn't know what to do with it, but it seemed to fit perfectly. It's just a very sort of sheer stretch visco, which is patterned in red swirls.
Katie Graham, and you'll get your chance to meet Katie a little later this afternoon as she catches up with Lynn Talbot. Well, we understand some viewers have been finding it a little difficult to get through to the Network 10 lines for our wonderful Star City competition, but please keep trying. The lines will be open, and we will be announcing those winners on Monday night, but with all the details where you can win a wonderful weekend away for two to Sydney's fabulous new Star City Casino. Angela Bishop joins us again with the details.
An exciting thing is happening in Sydney. I'm in the Lyric Theatre, just one part of the most amazing entertainment destination in Australia. Called Star City, it's set to open on November 26, and you could be here in Sydney to celebrate Star City's first weekend. Star City is giving away the ultimate prize. It includes a trip for two people to Star City to see Tom Jones live in concert on the 28th of November. You and a partner will be flying to Sydney business class and taken to Star City. You'll stay in the executive suite for 2 nights and enjoy dinner at Star City's exclusive restaurant, Astral. And just to make your stay even more memorable, you'll have $2,000 in cash to spend. There are also 4 weekends to be won at Star City and tickets to see Dean Perry's Steel City. All you need to do is call 1902 555 612 and answer this simple question. What's the name of Australia's most exciting entertainment destination?
Thanks, Angela, and those winners will be announced on Monday night. Well, just a few years ago, the peak time of the year for Mark Bairstow was September, AFL footy's final time. Well, now it's November and Cup Week, and as a racehorse owner these days, Mark is busy 7 days a week, 52 weeks of the year.
In a former life, this legendary champion led Geelong into battle for the AFL's Premiership Cup.
Bairstow, low trajectory, very straight.
Now he's doing battle on a different turf.
We're down here at Freshwater Creek, and if you don't know where that is, it's a little town outside of Geelong. Mark Bairstow trains on the beach here. It's a beautiful spot. He's going to let us in on a few of his stable secrets. Why don't you come along for the ride?
Country boy at heart, having grown up on the family farm in Western Australia, Mark has drawn on his football experience to train horses.
Oh, got me happy.
Yeah. What have you borrowed from football to include in racehorse training?
Oh, I think there's some similarities. I think, you can't take everything, obviously, but, especially the groundwork. In a pre-season in football, you have to have plenty of groundwork, and I think that applies with horses as well.
Tell us the advantages of training on the beach.
I think it's a relaxing style for them. I think some horses just can't handle the hustle and bustle of being in Melbourne and that sort of setup. Some thrive on it, some don't, but I think the advantage of on the beach is, horses seem to settle a bit better. I think it's very good for staying type horses.
And does the hired help like training on the beach?
No, not really.
Why not?
Probably, but the only disadvantage I have for Mark is I can't swim.
You got the whole family involved in your Mark?
Yeah, I've got Toby, who's a bit of a worker. He's the worker, and Dylan's the limelight boy.
Then try it and he hit the front, shot clear, and he'd have it on the outside, and hit the front, try it and he'd have it, try it and he's got the stride in, try it and he'd have it, try it and he'll win. From the national law, Prince of Arizona began at that
Actually, when I was a little fellow, I thought about being a jockey, but I ate too many sandwiches and got too big. We started off for ourselves, but we've got a few outside owners now. We'd like a few more, but no, certainly, yeah, most of our horses are from other people now.
Any tips?
What, for the footy or for the races?
For the races.
I reckon the Freemans will have a big year.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Oh, watch out, Dan Malecki. Dylan Bairstow's on his way. Well, it is Families Day here, Stakes Day in Melbourne. We'll be back with so much more after the break. We'll take you to the break with the music of Catherine Lambert and the thrill of the race.
It'll all be worth it when the race is won. Both horse and rider can hardly wait. They hear the bell and open the gate. Just then, the two become one. They power through the gate. The race has begun. Here we go. There's no better
Welcome back. You're watching Network 10's live and exclusive coverage, the Melbourne Cup Carnival Week. This is Stakes Day, and I'm Sandra Sully. Thanks for joining us again. It's not too far away to the big race. Let's take a look. A little under an hour, 49 minutes and about 34 seconds to be exact. But there's one more race to go before we get there, and Peter Donegan, in our next race, it features one of the iron horses of Melbourne racing.
He is an iron horse, Sandra. We speak of Toil, the top one here. He just needs to be raced all the time and worked all the time. That's the way Jim Houlihan has to go with him, Jim.
He's no oil painting, that's for sure.
No.
Just having a look at him here in the mounting yard, but he is a very honest campaigner, and he does come into this race with a good chance. He can carry the weight.
Yeah, he's got a big motor, and Jim normally works him in rugs too. So gross is this horse. He just keeps on putting on condition. There he is, but as we say, you know, you wouldn't really want to have him on looks, but he has just got such a big heart.
Yes, and you go back to his Werribee Cup run, Peter, and it wasn't a bad effort. He got shuffled back there, and he managed to run on quite well. So I don't think this is all that much harder for him here.
Miss Tesla, number 2 to be ridden, Shane Dyers, drawn out wide at the 2,000 metres and finished within 4 lengths of Maximal. Prior to that, ran second to Holy Roller, Jen, and I think I said the other day, in that race, it looked as though she got the shock of her life when Holy Roller went up on the outside of her.
Well, I think anyone would, because Holy Roller is just a monster. But this Miss Tesla, she's a lovely looking mare. You can see she's nice and relaxed there. She led and couldn't go on Tuesday, and I'm worried about the weight with her. She's not a great weight carrier.
If you give Toil a chance in this at around about the $8 mark on the tote, then Indy Rush is not bad value at $22 because there was hardly a breath between them when it finished 4th in the Werribee Cup.
Yes, he got back on that occasion and went right round them at the 1400 and just got caught towards the line, so that wasn't a bad effort. Set a bit of a task there. His best form has been on rain affected going, so at best a place chance here.
John Maher's got a few in this, and one of them is number 4 Star Binder with Brett Treble in the saddle.
Not a bad effort at Geelong, sat 3 wide there and battled to the line quite strongly on that occasion. The distance, I don't think it'll worry Star Binder, and I think he's a chance in the race.
On to number 6 Galilean, and here Chris Wood at Seymour is the trainer, and Stephen King the rider. Ran home nicely at Moonee Valley.
Yes, well, not a bad effort at all there to win. A super honest type of performer as well, and definitely a chance if you like Galilean.
What about Mappingley, number 7, Jem, with Darren Gauci aboard for John Sadler?
Well, Mappingley got back, and that was at Caulfield, and was never really likely in that race. I don't think it's going to find much easier in this either, so at best a place chance.
Federal Agent at its last appearance, 4th to Angel's Image at Moonee Valley on Cox Plate Day. Glenn Boss, the rider for Jim Mason.
His last couple of runs have been good. He's made a bit of ground over the last 2 at Sandown and Moonee Valley, and I think he comes into it with a winning chance in the race.
And finally, we both like Del Rancho. Why is that?
Well, he got fired up at Caulfield, and he just over-raced and pulled a little bit hard there. Damien Oliver rode him on that occasion. Of course, he's on him again here today. He'll know him better, and I do think if he's able to settle in this race, he's got to be hard to beat.
What's your trifecta?
Del Rancho, number 9 from number 1 Toil, and number 4 Star Binder.
Del Rancho is the tote favourite as he goes to the gates. Let's have a look at the tote call with Dan Malecki.
Toil at $8.10, Pete. Miss Tesla, $9.70. Indiraj at $22. Star Binder, $5.80. Shystad, $25. Galilean at $9.60. $8.50 for Mappingley. $14 Federal Agent. $3.40 Del Rancho, the favourite. Napier Street at $49. Eastern Horizon at $20. 20, and Lamelazan showing 24 for the win. The scratching, number 11, Prior Engagement, as they go to the gates. The tote favourite is number 9, Del Rancho, Tim.
That's exactly the same down in the betting ring too, Dan. Del Rancho did get the drifts very early, but they hasn't been a great lot of money for anything else but Del Rancho, and it'll start a clear-cut favourite. There is a bit of specking down the bottom for number 12, Eastern Horizon.
So can John Marr make it 2 victories already on the final day of the carnival? Tim Gossage in the betting ring with that report. They start at the 2,000 metre mark. With one scratching here, there's only a field of 12, so really they should all have a position by the time they begin that long sweeping turn at the 1,400 metre mark. And the selections are Del Rancho from Jennifer, Richard and myself, and Letzi is the odd man out. He's gone for the grand old campaigner Toil. It's race 5, the Village Roadshow Welter. 2,000 metres is the journey. The starting time is 2:05, and as the runners go to the gates, we'll take a break and be back to Flemington very shortly. Amongst the roses before the Village Roadshow Welter, race 5 at 5 minutes after 2, and we have a field of 12 here. Prior Engagement, number 11, is the scratching, and as they made their way to the source, I can tell you that Roy Higgins was singing a song during the commercial break, and for you people at home, you're lucky you're in a commercial.
Thanks, Pete. I thought you were referring to me when you said a rose amongst the roses.
No.
Here, this race over 2,000 metres. I've gone with a stablemate of the favourite here, at number 4, Starbinder. Liked his run at Geelong. He is jumping up in distance. Oh, gee, he's done well. Looked excellent. In front of the 6, Galilean, this horse won well at Moonee Valley. He's up in class, and he's also on the up himself. The favourite here in Del Rancho, he's ready to fire up today. He looks well. And the top weight, Toil. He's no oil painting, but he always gives you a good sight. I marked them 4, 6, 9 and 1 for race 5.
Starbinder, the top selection from Roy Higgins as they go into the gates. There is Toil, the grand old galloper, trained by Jim Houlihan, the 8-year-old. And the rest of the runners moving forward now. Mappingly coming up, and with about 4 or 5 to move in, let's go up to Gary Willits and see what he made of the appearance of these runners prior to race 5. Gary?
Well, I certainly like the look of number 4, Starbinder. I think he's been looking out for Flemington. He's a nice horse trained by John Marr. Old Toil, he's an old marvel. He looks great, and might give Darren Beeman his 3rd winner for the day. It's incredible up here, Peter, looking down on this crowd. The families and the kids out here, everyone's having a fantastic day out here. It's just an incredible sight in front of us here. It's great for racing to see all these young people here with their families, and you know, you can have a wonderful day at the races.
Galilean goes up with Eastern Horizon. And the last couple are coming up to the gates for the Village Roadshow Welter over the 2,000 metres. Miss Tesla coming from the outside. She's backing up within the week, Gary.
Yes, and with 59 kilos, it makes her job pretty hard, because she's not all that big. It was quite extraordinary watching Holy Roller and Miss Tesla coming towards the corner at Moonee Valley.